front of the synagogue where the windows are now boarded up. Spencer Pittman, the person who is accused of starting the fire here at the synagogue, faced the judge with no emotion. As he was told he was facing years of prison, he had no response. The only synagogue in Jackson, Beth Israel, now left with a charred inside and broken windows after 19-year-old Spencer Pittman confessed to setting it on fire.
What are you accomplishing? You're sending a message that terror is good, that their faith or these people are bad, and that's not the case. That's not true.
Mississippians like Kelly Cummins, who showed up in support of Jackson's Jewish community, questioned the actions of the arsonist, and so did a federal judge. The college sophomore faced the judge from a hospital bed with a bandage on his hand, an injury that was caused by allegedly lighting the fire. On video, he was captured breaking into the synagogue with an axe, pouring gasoline inside, and using a torch lighter to make flames. He has been charged with arson, now facing 5 to 20 years in prison.
It's a visual and really visceral reminder of how much hate is in the world and how much of it is targeted to a specific marginalized groups.
Lindsay Friedman, the regional director of Anti-Defamation League, traveled from New Orleans to view the tragedy. She's saying there were multiple historical artifacts inside of the building. She says ADL works hard to ensure the safety of Jewish people, studying what leads to anti-Semitic attacks, and now shifting their focus to this one.
What their online footprint is, how they were radicalized, and sort of what led to that person taking the actions that they did.
The American Jewish Committee saying there has been an uptick in anti-Semitic crimes, the most recent in Australia where 15 people were killed.
It adds to the anxiety of the Jewish community and increases the likelihood that people will not want to attend Jewish events for fear of the type of attack that they might face.
But Cummins says Jewish people should not be fearful at all. He says, if anything, they have many people's support because he says an attack on the people of God is an attack on everyone who is a believer.
There's more people that support them and care here locally than they know about. And I think it's important that they realize that.
There is now an emergency campaign to build back the synagogue, and next week Pittman is expected to return to federal court to face a judge for his detention and preliminary hearing. In Jackson, in front of Beth Israel, Brooklyn Joyner, 16 WAPT News.